Okay, item B, 3021 Crestmoor Drive. It's a request for a use permit to allow an addition that creates a second story with a transparent window adjacent to the abutting property that has a side yard greater than 10 feet to exceed 2,800 square feet of living area while only providing 2 covered parking spaces where 3 are required per sections 12240B1, 12280A3, respectively of the San Bruno Municipal Code.
Thank you. As stated, the applicant has applied for a use permit to expand the existing single-family dwelling located at 3021 Crestmoor Drive. The site is located on the east side of Crestmoor Drive and is currently developed with a one-story single-family dwelling. The current home has 1,823 square feet of living area with a 517 square foot 2-car garage. The applicant is proposing a 1,133 square foot second-story addition. The addition will include 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a family room, and a utility room. If approved and constructed, this would be a 3,473 square foot home consisting of 2,956 square feet of living area and a 517 square foot 2-car garage. The Architectural Review Committee did review this project at the August 15th Architectural Review Committee meeting. They did forward this project on to the Planning Commission with 5 specific recommendations. Those recommendations were to incorporate a garage door with windows, incorporate a trellis feature or some sort of architectural band along the left side elevation to help break up the first and second story wall within the same vertical plane, ensure the plans are drawn to scale, ensure that the site plan accurately reflects the location of the second story addition, and lastly, to ensure that the detached structure is located at least 1 foot from the side property line. The applicant has updated the plans accordingly, and we have the revised plans before us tonight. As previously stated, a use permit is required as the second story addition contains a transparent window adjacent to an abutting property that has a side yard greater than 10 feet. As you know, in San Bruno, the side setbacks are typically in the 3 to 5 foot range. Therefore, we don't see this entitlement request all that often. The intent of this entitlement is to preserve the privacy of the adjacent property owner because they're more likely to use that outdoor side yard space as their rear yard outdoor space. Staff does not anticipate any negative impacts associated with privacy. There's only one small window located along that right side elevation, and it's within the master bedroom. The second story is also set back from the first story below. As a result, the closest point of that second story expansion is located 17 feet from the shared property line. A use permit is also required as the addition is exceeding 2,800 square feet of living area, which technically requires a 3rd covered parking space. However, there is a use permit process in place, which the applicant has applied for. There is a large 2-car garage. It's 517 square feet. Additionally, there are 2 spaces in the driveway. Therefore, a total of 4 cars would be able to park on site. And I would like to point out that the distance between the face of the garage and the back edge of the sidewalk is approximately 21 feet. Therefore, 2 cars will be able to fully fit on that driveway and will not block the public right-of-way. Staff sent a courtesy notice and the required legal notice to all property owners within 300 feet of the site. Staff received 1 comment from an adjacent property owner who expressed some concern with the second story addition. This neighbor was specifically concerned that the addition would block sunlight, and she had privacy concerns. Staff explained that the second story addition was located 17 feet from the shared property line and was set in 3 feet from that first story below. Additionally, the home will be less than the overall 28-foot height limit. Staff also received written comments from a resident at the August 15th Architectural Review Committee meeting. Those comments are attached as Exhibit E within your staff report, which I'll highlight. The very first question was regarding the public utility easement on site. The specific questions were how the construction would affect the public utility easement, and upon completion, would the public utility easement be affected in a negative fashion. I would like to point out that there is a varying public utility easement in this rear yard area. It's about 14 feet to 17 feet deep. Staff will inform the contractor not to store any heavy equipment in that public utility easement area, and we would not anticipate there being any negative impacts associated with the public utility easement. Additionally, The applicant or the concerned property owner also expressed concerns regarding possible privacy impacts and requested that the applicant and staff reach out to the property owner once again. We have verbally talked with the adjacent property owner and for the above or for the previously mentioned reasons. We are supporting the project. The second story again is set in 17 feet from that shared property line and is set 3 feet back from that first story below and is meeting the overall height limit, or it's actually less than the overall height limit. Lastly, the resident expressed concern with the project's location as it is in close proximity to John Muir Elementary School. Specifically, the resident advised that construction vehicles and construction hours not unnecessarily hinder pedestrian or vehicular traffic, and expressed some concern regarding the overall construction hours. We have included our standard condition of approval, which is condition of approval number 4 regarding construction hours. Additionally, staff will encourage the contractor to be extra careful when arriving and leaving the subject site during our pre-construction meeting, just due to its close proximity to this elementary school. Overall, staff supports the project, and we do recommend that the Planning Commission approve the use permit request based on findings of fact 1 through 7 and conditions of approval 1 through 26. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Any questions for staff? Okay, thank you, Matt. Is the applicant here? Would you like to step to the podium, give us your name, and talk about your project, please? Welcome.
Hi, my name is Besma Tota. I'm the owner of 3021 Crestmoor Drive, and my husband George, right over there. And going to be here 3 years since we bought the house, and looking forward to expanding so each one of the kids can have their own room and stop fighting all day, all night, and get this project done and move on, please. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is George Day. I'm the designer of the building. And my job was to make a compromise between the planning and the owner, you know. And at the end, we make a compromise and listen whatever they want to do, and we did it, you know. So basically, whatever the planning asked, we did this. So any question I can ask.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions for the applicant?
Through the chair.
Commissioner Mitchell.
I would like the applicant to, I guess, let me know if, since you're so close to the school, would you be opposed to putting a construction fence during the duration of the construction period to
Where
keep
would-
the kids out?
The construction fence would be where?
Uh,
It's not
chain link
nothing on the
fence.
street.
Chain link fence separating the sidewalk from the property?
I don't think we
Yeah, but
can
you
affect anything with the school.
Do kids walk
Me
in
and my
front?
daughter are the only ones that walk to school on the block.
If you want to speak, step to the podium, please. Sorry.
That's enough.
When you do under the construction, we're not gonna put anything in the street, dumpster, anything, all wood, everything. I have inside the house. I have like a motor home, you can park in the side the house. Everything could be inside. It's nothing in the street.
Do kids
No.
walk in front of this property?
No, the street side across the street, school.
I would say that if, I would like to put a condition of approval if kids use this space to cross in front of the property, that there be a construction fence, and I'd leave it to the discretion of the community development director.
The location of the school is down the hill to the right on, it's not, there's no pickup, there's no drop-off zone or anything where we're at. It's the next block over that has the green and the crosswalk for all the pickup and drop-off.
I haven't been on site and I don't know what the conditions look like, but I just wanted to put that out there. And it's a condition, it's a condition of approval that will need final approval or waiver from the community development director, and so I'd like to put it in his hands. If that's okay.
We can do that. We would have a pre-construction meeting with our building inspector and the contractor and evaluate the site and determine if that kind of fencing would be necessary in this case.
Sure.
Typically, it would not, but if it is necessary in this case, we would ask the contractor, the homeowner, to install it.
Okay. So do you not recommend putting it as a condition of approval and leave it open to the pre-construction meeting?
At the pre-construction meeting and going on site, we would evaluate if there's a need. Again, typically, we don't find that there's a need in a condition like this, in a situation like this, for that type of fence, so it would be unusual. So what I'm indicating to the commission is that I wouldn't expect to need to have that kind of fencing in this case. However, if we see a special circumstance and a safety need, we would ask the contractor to install it.
Through the chair.
Commissioner Chase?
You know, I can't ever recall having this condition put on an addition in somebody's house because of a close proximity to a school or whatever. And not to be, blunt, but, well, I won't be. But to me, it's definitely, unnecessary and absurd, in my opinion.
Through the chair.
Commissioner?
I certainly support the thought that it's in our community director's hands. I think that at any time that we may not see something, that you certainly would ask the appropriate questions. I would want to be sure that we don't set a precedent on a situation that would not be something for every single issue that comes up on something like this. But I think that Commissioner Mishra has indicated that he puts it in your hands, and I think that you can make that decision.
That's fine.
Did you have something else to add, Commissioner Mishra?
No.
Okay. Anyone else?
Through the chair,
Commissioner Peterson?
I move the commission approve use permit.
Let me do public comment first.
Oh, excuse me.
It's okay. Okay, was there anything else you wanted to add to your comments?
No?
Okay, thank you. Is there someone from the public who would like to speak on this one? No? Okay, go ahead and sit down. Okay, go ahead, Perry.
The public comment period.
Public comment is closed.
Okay.
Unless, of course, you'd like to add something.
I move the commission approve use permit 13-11 based on findings of fact 1 through 7 and conditions of approval 1 through 26.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. The project's approved, and there's a 10-day appeal period. Congratulations.